Welcome to Manly Things.
Sort of.
Podcast.
Let's do it again. Let's do it again.
No, I think we're all going to stay in the shop.
What?
It's going to stay in the shop.
Okay.
Podcast. So we're talking men's fashion, and I have the legend Annie Psaltiras here with us. Legend.
Yeah.
Legend, celebrity stylist, menswear celebrity stylist. Did you ever work with women at all?
I have, yeah. Okay. I have here and there, but menswear is definitely my forte.
Do you help with like men's wives?
I do not.
Or girlfriends? Yeah.
No.
You have a hard line, like a no. I'm not.
I have a pretty hard line.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I've been asked that, and I was like, yeah, it's not going to happen.
I just want to manage everyone's expectations. You know what I mean? So I feel like I can't even dabble and help. I mean, if it's like the day of and your strap breaks or whatever, of course I'm going to jump in. But women's wear is not my expertise.
Yeah.
I don't really love women's clothes. It's not my thing. I love men's clothes.
Yeah.
So I just stay in my lane.
Speaking of, what are you wearing today?
I am wearing my normal uniform.
Yeah, this is your normal, honestly. Yeah. Normal uniform.
I didn't realize we were going to be on camera.
You look great, but like, if this is your normal uniform, like, what would you wear that would be different?
Probably nothing.
Right,
but
exactly.
Like I was telling you before, I probably would have done laundry and had like more t-shirt options.
No, you're fine. But you can like name the labels and brands and all that.
I'm wearing, my jacket is real. It's old. It's a Pendleton jacket. It was a collab between Pendleton and Opening Ceremony.
Cool.
It's like 20 years old, which sounds scary because it feels like I bought it yesterday.
Yeah.
So I've had this forever, and t-shirt, vintage, Dickies. My uniform is usually like any kind of vintage t-shirt and my Dickies, vintage Dickies.
Can you show the boots real quick? Yeah, you can just like stick your leg. Oh yeah, it was a patch. I thought it was a burn mark, the butterfly thing on there on your knee. It looks like you've worn those every single day on a construction site.
Well, I have worn them every single day, but not on a construction site. I bought them new.
Yeah.
I don't know, probably more than 10 years ago.
Yeah.
They're so comfortable.
So
it's
good.
really hard to wear anything else.
Especially when you break them in like that.
Yeah.
I've got on, you recognize this shirt. We shop at some of the same places. And I actually saw you when I pulled this at Tommy's.
Oh, really?
At Moth Food, yeah. Vintage shirt, Officine General shirt, Levi's jeans, and some Tecovas boots. Real quick about Tommy. What's his last name?
Dorr.
Tommy
Dorr. Tommy Dorr.
Tommy Dorr.
Although he's in my phone as Tommy Moth Food.
Yeah, same here.
And
honestly.
He will always be in my phone as Tommy Moth Food.
That's why I didn't know his last name. Yeah. He's got one of the best vintage places in LA. He'd be a good person to have on the podcast at some point.
Oh yeah.
If he was here in LA, I know he's in New York. He has a good pop-up going on right now. I was going to ask if he wanted to join you.
That'd be fun. We can do it another time and talk about vintage.
Other point, we'll do all that. Cause I think you have a good eye for like all the vintage stuff, and we'll get into that too. But first, how's your NBA fantasy team doing?
Well, we're really passionate about fantasy basketball.
We are,
Forget clothes.
I know, yeah.
I'm doing okay. I won my matchup last week. It's only been this is only the second week.
Second week, yeah.
So I'm losing this week.
Okay.
But I still have.
You still have tonight, right? Yeah. Okay.
But I have so many injuries.
Yeah. Any Lakers players at all?
I have Austin Reeves.
You have to have Austin Reeves. Yeah.
Not my boy.
So you work with Austin Reeves?
I work with him. Yeah. I mean, that's like a loose term with Austin because he does not care about clothes.
How does that differ? Obviously he might be a little different than like say a LeBron or like someone who really genuinely cares about what they're wearing. But how working with an athlete, how is that versus working with an actor or a country artist?
Well, it's totally different.
Okay.
I mean, I can talk to you about working with Austin.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of like accidentally started working with him because I met him at a Laker game. Yeah. I met his agent at a Laker game.
So just at a game.
That's how I met. That's how I got involved with Austin.
Amazing.
Because I was at a Laker game with one of my clients, and we met Austin's agent. He said, well, one day we might need a stylist. And I said, well, okay, look no further.
No way.
I want to work with him anytime. So he hasn't really needed styling, but we did one job. He did a commercial for hotels.com.
That's right.
So they had a budget for a stylist. I said, well, bring me on. So I dressed him for that. And I put him in a Stone Island sweatsuit. Like he only cares Austin cares only about basketball and golf. Does not care about anything else. Does not care about clothes. Does not care about anything other than, which I'm like, great. focus on your game because I need the points.
Yeah, you need the point. I feel like he, once he gets a haircut, like as soon as he gets the fade and he like full on goes for it, it'll be a whole different ball game. That's when he might bring in the street style stuff and call you up again.
No, he won't. He won't.
It's just basketball.
He really is focused. I mean, that's why he's so good.
Yeah, true.
That's just his personality. I totally support it. I mean, I'm still there. If they ever need anything, like he has a deal with Rigor. They're making his shoes and they make apparel and stuff.
Okay.
So I'm always available if they ever need anything. I mean, they don't really. They just kind of do their thing, which is fine. Because
when you told me you were working with Austin Reeves, as an athlete, I've been trying to work with athletes forever. Yeah. And like, I've talked to my agent so many times, like, let's try and go after Shohei. Like anyone who moves to LA or anyone, like any new person, I'm like, let's try and help out wherever we can.
I feel like a lot of those guys keep it internal too. Like they use their friends or their girlfriends or cousins or, they kind of keep it close, which is cool. I mean, there are varying degrees of fashion in the NBA. I mean, some people go crazy with the fashion. I mean, even on the Lakers. I mean, when you look at tunnel fits, you look at like Vando or, he's wearing like a straight up like designer bondage outfit or like D'Lo's wearing a silk scarf on his head. And then, you see Austin, he's just like wearing a sweatsuit. So
it's funny to me that they still even take pictures of them when they just show up in like the normal sweatsuit.
Well, it was good to show the variety.
Yeah, that's true. Can you talk a little bit about getting into styling? So how you started, you don't have to do the whole, like from where you began to where you are now, but like the journey from your beginning, like where you started at.
I was very, very young.
Okay.
I was pretty much just out of high school.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to go to college right away. Or I just didn't want to go to school. I wanted to just like start my life.
I gotcha.
And I know I would do something in the arts. I was always into art and artistic. And I started working for an art director. It was like a friend of a friend. And I was an assistant and I was like making props. I'm crafty and I was doing scenic painting and stuff. And I mean, I was like 19 years old. And then I, was watching the Stylist and I thought, I think I'd be really good at that. So I told all the stylists and everyone I knew, I want to assist stylists.
Yeah.
I want to just get into that. I'll work hard. I'll work for free. Just, I'm just trying to get my foot in the door. And I did. And I was an assistant for a while. And then you know how it goes. You start to get a few of your own clients. And
I feel like that's the way I kind of always tell people who want to be stylists is like Kelsey, like being an assistant and learning the ins and outs of it, the importance of like receipts, emailing, the communication aspect. I feel like communication and logistics is 90% of our jobs, So, being an assistant that's good to hear that you like started from that.
Yeah. I mean, I started from like the absolute bottom.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. And honestly, that's like where
I knew nothing. I remember like on the first time I ever got hired, they're like, do you know how to do this and that and where this and that is? And I was like, what?
Yeah. And then you start.
I have no idea.
Yeah. I'm not to age you.
No, it's okay.
Was it before
I'm almost 48.
What was it before phones then?
Before phones, before the internet. Yeah. I mean, I had to like get a freaking Yellow Pages, which is like 500 pounds and like look up costume houses. And I mean, I had no idea what I was doing. And it wasn't like you could just Google. There was no Google.
Did you have like a Thomas guide in the back of your car?
Hell yeah, I had a Thomas guide.
Yeah. Do you guys, I hope the audience knows what a Thomas guide is because a lot
of people don't know what a Thomas guide is.
You would have to have that in your car to get around, literally, if you had to get an address.
It was basically a book with a map of the entire city, every single street.
Yeah.
And you could look it up in the index.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh man, that's like so nostalgic for me. My dad like would whip out the Thomas guide all the time just to kind of get around. But,
I would love to meet, the guy Thomas or whoever.
Thomas, yeah.
And why did he not jump on? Like, why are we using Waze and like Google Maps and all that? Like, why did Thomas
honestly
not corner the market?
Yeah. Or even like MapQuest, like all those like original ideas.
Why isn't it Thomas Quest?
Oh my God. Yeah.
That was a real misstep.
Thomas Quest. Getting into
Thomas was all like, oh, that's never going to take off.
Oh, 100%.
People are always going to need these Thomas guys.
Always. Yeah. And then, he has got a whole warehouse full of just Thomas guys, getting into some of your clients, Chris Pratt, Rob Lowe.
Yep.
I was going to talk about Austin Reeves. I'm glad we touched on him. And you have plenty more. I kind of gravitate towards you because of Chris Pratt, and dressing a bigger guy.
Yeah.
I feel like
you and I both have guys who are bigger dudes. Taller.
Yeah.
Not sample size.
Not sample size.
The challenge.
So a little bit about that process about, how you fit them. Do you fit them multiple times? And like it could vary between like a press tour or one event, but, yeah, how do you go about dressing a bigger guy?
Preparation is key. Well, the first time I ever worked with him, we did this big gallery shoot, which studios do when they're promoting a movie. They will do specific photo shoots for, Vanity Fair, Entertainment Weekly, whatever the domestic publications are. But then they'll also do like a big gallery shoot where we do this photo shoot. I'll put him in a suit and a leather jacket and a t-shirt and like all these different scenarios. And then they sell those photos to overseas publications. So I was doing this gallery shoot with him. So I had to have like a lot of options, a lot of different styles, a lot of, everything from, a t-shirt and jeans to like a 3-piece suit.
So it was probably like 3-4 racks.
Oh yeah. It was a lot of clothes. I had never worked with him before. I never met him before. So I just really did my homework and, I just made sure to be really, really prepared. So I had, if there was a suit and I really liked it, I made sure I had it in the size they gave me.
Oh, wow.
And a size down and a size up. I just made sure just in case, because you just never know. Also, he's like really muscular. He has big shoulders. He's not just like, some guys are like super tall and wiry. Some guys are super tall and broad. And so, you just you don't necessarily know what style of jeans is going to fit him. So I had to be prepared with, many different variations.
Well, because even watching him on like Parks and Rec, he's a big dude. And like, that was when he like first started. Right. And he was like, obviously a little bit pudgier, but even as he's gotten bigger, compared to like Aubrey Plaza and the other guys, like he kind of fits right in with them. But then I assisted you on a commercial with him. And I walked in and I was like, oh shit, this guy's actually like, he's like 6'4". Like,
he's a big manly dude.
Yeah. And especially after like Jurassic Park and like getting shredded for Guardians and all that stuff.
So that shoot that I'm talking about was for Guardians of the Galaxy. So he had totally transformed himself. From Andy Dwyer to this like superhero.
Yeah. And what's funny too, is that he was very like professional at the beginning of this fitting that I assisted you on. And there was a moment where he said something, he was like joking around. And then like the Andy Dwyer eyes, like, where he like, he just got stuck. I was like, oh, I started like busting up because he was like, again, serious. And then all of a sudden, like that Andy Dwyer guy came out. I was like, okay, that's who he is.
Speaking of how old I am, I have no recollection of this. You assisted me on a shoot with Chris?
I did, yeah.
What was it?
I helped you out when I transitioned from Samantha to do my own stuff. I helped you out and I helped Ilaria out every once in a while.
What was it for?
It was for like I think it was like a Super Bowl commercial.
Really?
For Chris, yeah. But again, and we'll get into it too. But like we'll get into the whole assistant because I have some questions.
I'm sure you did
an
excellent job.
I mean, you remember. I'm
sure you killed it.
That's great. But do you have, so now with you, when you work with him, or say a press tour, are you fitting everything beforehand and then fitting again? Or how do you go about like a fitting with him?
At this
or a press
point,
tour
I
stuff?
have it pretty dialed in with him. So usually we just do one fitting. Once in a while, there's a second fitting. Okay. Especially if we're making custom. Yeah. There's almost always a second fitting.
Okay. Do you try and get custom almost every time?
Yeah. If there's time, I love to do custom. Okay. Because then it fits perfect.
Yeah, it does. And like there'll just be like minor alterations. So do you have his sizing like on a sheet somewhere?
I mean, I do, but it changes.
Yeah, it does change. Yeah.
It just depends on what he's filming. If he's filming a superhero movie, his shoulders are going to be like a size bigger. Yeah. And his waist is going to be a size smaller.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Crazy. And then you go from someone like him to someone like Rob Lowe, who's a more like sample size stuff. Yeah,
he's like between a 38 and a 40. Yeah. So I can get.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, he's like pretty easy fit. He kind of fits everything.
And he's like, you can put a trash bag on him and he
looks gorgeous.
He'll look great.
No, it's crazy. Like we joke about it.
Really? Well, so even like without makeup, he's just like a breathtaking.
Yeah.
Like skin wise, all that.
Yeah, he's like genetically perfect. Oh. No, it's crazy. Yeah. It's like he's getting better looking. It's annoying.
Yeah, how does that
like
work?
You're like Benjamin Button.
And then you have Dirk Bentley. You were a big I idolized you a lot because you worked in Hollywood and then you had like country guys. And I'd always wanted to get into the country world. And luckily like ended up like landing a couple guys. And so Wolf, I don't think we ever hung out in Nashville, but like
we did. We had dinner. I remember that. Remember we had dinner once?
Yeah. Manit Chauhan's place, in Nashville.
Okay. That part I don't remember, but I believe you.
He's a big time show. But no, we just seeing you kind of go from the Hollywood actors to musicians to have like a well-rounded client base. I saw that and I was like, oh, it's actually really important just not to rely on Hollywood because like they could strike or anything like that. And then
diversify.
Or even during COVID, the country never really stopped. And so
you're right.
And so like, always having work just in case anything happens. Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to say that I'm like a genius and I sought that out. But I have always worked with a little bit with musicians, a little bit with actors. I mean, Justin Timberlake was like my first big client.
Yes.
And I think Dierks' management sought me out a little bit based on that.
Okay.
I had no idea. Sorry, Dierks, I love you so much. Didn't know who he was when he hired me.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd be offended by that.
So you never listen to country music at all?
No, I mean, I like vintage country music and Willie Nelson.
I think he'd actually like you more because you don't listen.
Maybe. Right? Yeah. I mean, I brought like a different perspective and I think that's 100%. What they were looking for, you know, because there's a lot of great stylists in Nashville that they could have used, but I think that they wanted a different perspective. So they looked elsewhere. They looked at stylists in New York and in LA. And I think that, they maybe looked at my work with actors and also with Justin. And we ended up being like an amazing fit. I mean, the first time I worked with him, we just got on like gangbusters.
Yeah.
And the first time I went with him to an award show, I was like, oh my God, he's huge. Like this is
so big. Yeah. And he's like the country music fans. There's like the pop country music that are, fine. But like people who listen to country music are obsessed with Dierks Bentley.
Yeah. And they should be because he's awesome. His music's great.
So I also assisted you on that. So it was like a week span. And I got to meet Chris Pratt and I got to meet Dierks Bentley.
In LA?
Yeah, in LA. It was
what were we doing?
You were helping his band too. I think you always help his band. But
I love his band. Yeah,
his band's great, and everyone was so nice. And like after seeing that, I was like, that's why I want to work in country music is because everyone was so friendly. Everyone's
so nice.
Yeah,
it's like a whole different world.
It's a
small world. It's a family.
Yeah.
It's so cool. I love going to Nashville. I love being at the award shows. Some of my best friends came out of that relationship with Dierks.
And that's what's cool about like Nashville, those award shows. Cause like when we send someone to the red carpet here, we're not going with them for whatever reason. At all these award shows, they want us to go with them.
Yeah, which I love. I love that. Let me see you at the very last second to make sure your pocket square's not messed up.
Yeah. And they'll even like allow you to like walk on the red carpet with them. Imagine that.
You get a pass.
Imagine that at the Oscars, like you walking on the red carpet with your client.
With your like lanyard and everything.
And like your kit bag just in case, like if something happens, you're not going to do anything about it. But like
you can always see Kelly and me in the background. Kelly Henderson.
Oh, Kelly Henderson. I love her. She we work together and she's like styling now.
Yeah, she does both. She does grooming and styling.
Oh, good. So working with both Chris and Dierks, does that overlap at all? Like obviously Chris, I don't think he's like from LA, New York. I think he's from like Washington or like the Midwest or somewhere.
Yeah, he grew up in Washington.
Yeah.
I think he's from the Midwest.
Well, okay. Do like incorporating like boots and like that more rugged feel.
Well, Chris is a huge country fan.
Okay, there we go.
And so he loves a boot.
So he wants to like, is it like he wants to come across more Americana?
I think he just naturally likes it.
Yeah.
He also like has a farm.
Oh, there we go.
So, he just naturally gravitates toward that stuff and it looks good on him.
It does look good on him. Yeah,
he loves an Ariat boot.
Yeah. Okay.
He loves Wranglers. That's kind of naturally what he likes.
Yeah. And someone like that, like, I think that's why fans love him so much is because he correlates with the everyday person.
He is. He's like the most genuine, chill, cool person.
That being said, another reason why you were a big influence on me was because you had no social media. Yes. Did
that give you permission to not have social media?
Yeah, right. So honestly, I've referenced you so much with the Wall Group. We're with the same agency, and they were like, you need to have something. And I was like, well, Annie Psaltiras doesn't have anything and she's killing it. And not saying like I will be you at any point, but they were
I
like,
hope you are.
no, but they were like, she has one. So people do tag you.
Well, I don't. Well, okay. So.
But you don't post at all.
Okay. So.
Sorry. As I'm telling you, like, okay.
I'll tell you.
Please.
I'll tell you the origins of my Instagram page.
Yes,
so when Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff started to become really popular and it was becoming a thing, my agent said to me, you don't have any internet presence really. Like you don't have Instagram or Twitter or whatever was big there. I don't even know if Twitter was a thing yet. Maybe like Tumblr, like back then.
MySpace. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm not going to do that. I'm just not interested. And they said, well, can we just start the pages for you? And just so nobody else takes your name, just so you have it.
Oh, smart. Yeah.
And I was like, who would do that? Who would care, And then someone did try to take my name.
No way. But they spelled it wrong with I
can't remember exactly what happened, but like it was like something weird. I think it might've been on Facebook or something. I don't know.
Okay.
But anyway, so they started my Instagram page and then they followed themselves when they started my Instagram page. So I follow one person, which is the wall group because they followed themselves when they set it up. But I've never posted anything.
Okay. Has it hindered your work at all?
I mean, maybe. I mean, I think like there are definitely opportunities that are not available to me because I don't have social media. Like the companies are not going to ask me to do a collab. Certain designers maybe aren't as keen to work with me because I'm not going to post about what Chris is wearing. But that's fine with me because I'm doing just fine without it.
But even working with Justin too, you had Justin wearing some like top designers and brands.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's nothing I can't get from my clients for sure. But there might be opportunities like for me, like maybe designers are less inclined to pay me to put my clients in their clothes because I'm not going to blow them up on my Instagram.
Yeah.
But again, that's fine. I make great money.
Good.
I want for nothing.
Good.
And I'm peaceful.
Yeah.
Because I don't do anything I don't want to do.
It's refreshing to hear that because I hear from everyone, like friends, especially be like, yeah, you should, you would do all this stuff, but it's like, it's just not who I am. And from what it sounds like, it's not who you are either.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just not into it. I mean, if you love to have an Instagram page and you love creating content and you like to communicate with your followers, I mean, I think that's great. Do what makes you happy, but I just don't want to do it. And I'm also really private.
Yeah.
So there's nothing about my life or my personality that would lead me to post anything on Instagram.
And I think a lot of your clients probably like the fact that you're not like, hey, let's take a picture real quick or like any of those behind the scenes things.
My clients like it. Yeah. There are other clients maybe who don't work with me because of it. So there's always a trade-off and that's fine. Everyone should have whatever they want.
When I hear that from someone, I'm like, when I hear that, oh, they chose someone else because you don't have a social media presence. I'm like,
God bless.
If you don't want to work with me because of that, then I don't want to work with you because of that,
Yeah. And I'm not down on it. I mean, Instagram is like people's whole businesses are based on their Instagram. And I think that's great.
Yeah.
If that works for you, it just doesn't work for me.
Yeah. Good.
And I'm stubborn. So especially if everyone's telling me I need to do something, it just makes me want to give you the finger,
Yeah. My wife's going to hear this and this is helping me out. So thank you very much.
That said, I'm lucky because my career was already pretty established before Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff became so imperative. So I think, I don't totally disagree with your agents that it would have been helpful to you to have an Instagram, but yeah, I mean, you're doing fine. Yeah. Right. You're doing great. You're killing it.
Look, the fact that I can raise children so far and be okay with it. Like we're all right. Yeah.
I mean, could I make more money if I had an Instagram? Yeah. But what am I going to do with more money? Buy more stuff?
Yeah. I know. Right. Yeah. Exactly. True. Buy more real estate.
I have, I don't want to like brag, but I own a lot of real estate.
Okay. Speaking of that, you also have a real estate. Like, is it business or how would you describe it?
I have a couple income properties.
Okay. And
that I rent out.
Okay. Did you feel like you needed to do that just to be stable money wise and not have to worry about anything outside of the styling world or how come you went that way?
I mean, I've been freelance my whole adult life. I've never had a real job. I've always been freelance, and it's like feast or famine sometimes. Sometimes I work every single day 1 month and then another month I work like 2 days.
Yeah.
Which, thankfully it's been fine. But yeah, I like to have a diverse stream of income here and there. And obviously I'm not going to do it through social media. So
yeah, right. Yeah, true.
yeah, actually, it's funny. Like I can really tell you exactly why I started investing in real estate. I don't know if you remember a few years ago, the owner of the Clippers. Donald Sterling.
Donald Sterling, yeah.
He got into a lot of trouble because his mistress like secretly recorded him saying all these horrible things, racist things, whatever. And he's just like this horrible, super rich, old
curmudgeon. Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought, why is this guy so rich?
Yeah.
How did he get to be so rich?
No
I want to
way.
be that rich and I want to own a basketball team. So I just Googled him and I'm like, this dude is rich because he's a slumlord. He owns like all these properties in Koreatown and all these, I think it's in Koreatown.
Yeah,
he owns like a ton of
and it was
buildings.
in like bad neighborhoods of LA, kind of taking advantage of like the minorities in the city.
And he started when he was young, buying up all these crappy properties. And now he is a multi-millionaire who has this, empire.
Yeah.
Now I don't want to do that, obviously.
So you're going down that path.
But it did inspire me because I thought, okay, I need to start buying property right now.
Yeah.
And so I think I had already bought my house.
Okay.
But then I was like, I'm going to buy this. The second I raised enough money to like comfortably put a big chunk of money into a property, I'm going to buy a duplex. And that's what I did.
Nice.
Yeah. And then since then I just, and then I ended up buying a couple properties in Nashville because I started going to Nashville and I was like, ooh, this is good.
And we're going to need
real estate.
We're going to need to talk about that because we're at that point now. I'm like, I'm spending way too much on hotel rooms and I could easily just get.
This is bad, but I don't even stay. Those are income properties.
Wait,
so I have tenants. I don't live there.
No way. Oh,
I don't stay there when I go.
Okay. So you don't have like an open condo or anything?
I don't. No. I have a condo and I have a house, but I rent them out.
No way. Okay. Good to know. Damn, good for you.
But you should do that.
Yeah.
You should totally buy something in Nashville and stay there.
Well, the amount of the managers that will be like, what can we do to like get you to move out here? And then when I said we had 3 kids now, they're like, you're moving to Nashville. Congratulations. I'm like,
well, you could definitely get more bang for your buck, but you have a kick-ass house in Atwater in LA.
Great.
So
yeah. We're not going anywhere. Yeah. And also I still like the actor, working with the actors. Could you, if you were to choose any industry to work in, like do the celebrity styling, what would you choose?
Wait, what do you mean?
Like versus like actors, musicians, athletes.
What kind of clients?
Like what kind of client would you have?
I mean, I don't know that there's a specific genre. I like to work with nice people.
Okay.
And I like to work with people who do big projects so that I can make a good living.
Do you have a dream client?
It's funny, people ask me this. I've thought about this a bit because everyone asks that question. Okay. Who would you love to work with? Who's your dream client? And I'm not trying to sound cheesy. I'm not like brown nosing. Like I have my dream clients.
I get that. Yeah.
I do. Like Rob Lowe. I mean, when I was 11, 12 years old, my favorite movie was The Outsiders.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with that movie. I watched it 100 times. It totally informed my sense of style.
Yeah.
And if you told me back then I'd be one day working with Soda Pop Curtis, are you kidding me? Yeah. My little head would have exploded. And now he's one of my main clients. I've been with him for like over 10 years and I adore him.
Right.
And I mean, Chris Pratt, there's like a million reasons why he's a dream client.
Yeah.
Sweetest guy on the planet. Like love him. Really great client. He does doing Super Bowl commercials and has
constantly
franchises.
Working.
And
well, both those guys, like you turn on a TV show or a game, you're going to see a Chris Pratt or Rob Lowe commercial. Yeah. Easily. Yeah.
And I've styled it. Yeah, and so I'm really fortunate. Exactly, I mean, this is why I'm able to, invest in areas outside of my profession.
Yeah.
And also Chris took me courtside to a Laker game. Dream.
Oh, dream.
Dream client. Dream day. It was the best day of my life.
That alone.
Yeah. That's it.
That one experience.
I made it.
Oh, I love it. That's great.
And, even Dirks. Dirks is like, we have such a great relationship and he's such like a perennial client. I mean, the country artists are always doing something. There's award shows, there's videos, there's,
just touring. Yeah.
Touring, like they're always doing something. And so I'm really super fortunate and I love him as a person.
Great. What's the name of the band that their alter ego band that Dirks has?
Hot Country Nights.
Hot Country Nights
is with a K.
Have you ever had to help? Did you help them get?
Are you kidding? It's like my
costumes.
Favorite thing I do all year. Yes.
Yeah. I remember when Kelly dressed up like Shania Twain for one
she
of those
looked
events.
amazing. Yeah.
Incredible. Yeah.
If you don't know the Hot Country Nights, please Google them.
Honestly, do they have any music out?
Yeah.
Like you can go on Apple and like look and find their music.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. Well,
they have plenty of recordings.
Yeah. I remember like Jordan Davis opened for him for a
music
while.
videos.
And
my God.
And they were up, they literally like him and their whole band would make sure they saw Hot Country Nights wherever they went.
They are the best.
They were that much fun.
Hot Country Nights opens up for Dierks Bentley.
Yeah.
So the whole band gets dressed up as the Hot Country Nights. They play a full set and then they change out of those clothes into their regular clothes. And then they play a full Dierks Bentley set.
Literally no one does that.
No
one.
It's amazing.
That's
and
awesome.
they all enjoy it so much.
I feel like you were the perfect person when this GQ article came across for styling a jean jacket. I was like, okay, Annie's going to be on. Like this couldn't have been a better time for this.
I should have worn one. I didn't think of it.
I thought about it too, but then I walked in with this heavy ass Dodgers shirt, but a jacket. But
go Dodgers.
Go Dodgers. These are all good questions. Like, and we'll reference the article. We'll put the link out for people to go and see. But I think we'll go through these questions. And I think we'll just both answer them.
Okay.
First off, how should a jean jacket fit?
Well, I think that depends on who's wearing it.
The body type, right?
Yeah. I mean, like for Dierks, for instance, I like his jean jackets to fit tight. And, I love to put him in a tight vintage Levi's jacket. It's one of my favorite looks for him.
Will you source that or will you talk to Levi's and try and get one for him?
I do both.
Okay.
No, I usually, if it's vintage, I source it myself.
Okay.
That's like what I love to do.
Yeah, true.
But someone like that has a picture of Shay up there and he's also wearing a fitted in that photo. He's wearing like a nice fitted. But if you're like, more fashiony, maybe you want one that's a little boxier and a bit more, 90s cool.
Yeah, agreed. We're gonna go towards like Shay towards the bottom, but like I love dressing it up. The whole like kind of replacing a blazer, but I think that's later on down it. Would you consider a jean jacket business casual?
I think it depends what business you're in, but I think you can.
And I think if
you do it with like a button-up shirt,
everything else you're wearing. Yeah. I think that like, especially if you live on the coast where the temperature is like our summer or even our winter, like our winter, I will go to RRL and probably get like a jacket that I'll wear for the winter. And it's usually like a denim jacket that they have because like we don't need a puffy coat or anything heavy.
You can get away
that.
with just having like a lightweight.
Exactly. So I think that's why I think a denim jacket on the coast are great.
There's always a need for a denim jacket. Just have one in your closet.
It's a staple piece.
Yeah.
Can you wear a denim jacket with jeans?
You can. Although I think...
Do you not like that?
No, I love it. I love a Canadian tuxedo. I do it all the time on my guys.
Yeah.
Although I think like you have to kind of be careful because there's always like a high probability that it could go wrong,
Agreed.
Also, but I think like if you're afraid of the Canadian tuxedo because you're not sure if you're doing it right, how about the black Canadian tuxedo? I love a black trucker jacket and black jeans.
Easy,
I do that on Dirks a lot. I did that on his last album cover. It was a black denim jacket, black jeans, and with like
was it just
brown
a t-shirt
boots.
underneath it?
I think I put actually a black. It was all black.
All black. Okay.
I think I put a black chambray shirt under it, but then I buttoned the jacket all the way up.
Great.
I love a denim jacket buttoned all the way up.
Yeah, same. Okay. So this is where it gets into like how to style a jean jacket. They do like a whole like don't overthink it, and you have like a picture of Johnny Knoxville with the colorful stuff, and then you have a picture of Ryan Gosling who looks always great. Mark Avery does a good job with like just kind of same thing, getting him like really beat up stuff.
And I like how I think this is a good combination because the jacket and the jeans are so different that it works. Because I think they either need to be matching perfectly or they need to be drastically different. Because if it's the in-between limbo area, that's when it goes wrong.
And even like the Johnny Knoxville, like where it's like the denim jacket and then a blue pair of trousers. Yeah, I think
he's wearing like Dickies.
Right, 100%. And then you have like the double up here. I don't like where they went with this on this article with the Bob Marley and then the Leon Bridges. I feel like it's such a niche style.
I mean, they
like,
look
they have their
so
own,
dope, but nobody else can do that.
Exactly. And like, that's such a hard thing to pull off. And like, those are such, could be 60s. Like, I think that's 75. And it's such a tough thing to pull off. And I think like you have to like live that style
They're
to do
on a
that.
totally different 100%.
level. But that's where I think you said the right thing, where it's the same color. And if everything just like fits right and it's the same color, I think that's when it looks the best. So
Dude,
if you're like
speaking of the Outsiders, the best Canadian tuxedo.
Exactly.
Johnny Cade, I think.
Yeah.
Ralph Macchio's character.
Right.
Denim jacket, jeans, black Converse high tops, black t-shirt. Boom.
Do you think when they shot that kind of stuff with those older movies, you don't have like vintage shops that you can go to? Do you think they're finding that like at the studio costume houses, or like they're aging them then and there?
I don't know.
And that'd be interesting to find out.
Maybe you should do a podcast with the costume designer from The Outsiders. And if you do, I want to be there.
Yeah, we got to find out who that person is. Very good. Layering. I love these images. One of Ralph Lauren, one of David Beckham here.
Me too. I like how David Beckham has his like all the way up with the bottom buttons open a little bit. It's a good look.
Yeah, that alone. That's like a personal style of like, I'm gonna do this, and whatever people think, I don't care. I also like the shearling. Like we live in a spot though. Like if someone's wearing a shearling jacket over a denim jacket here, like. You're just trying too hard, because there's never an occasion for a shearling jacket over a denim jacket in Los Angeles. But I would say even like in Montana, like I don't know if these guys are doing that kind of thing. Maybe in Colorado, I don't know.
I don't know, but he looks cool as hell.
He does look great. He looks great. I use a Ralph Lauren picture anytime I'm like building a mood board, or like someone wants to see references. Is always a picture of Ralph Lauren.
Totally.
This is one of my favorite looks. I love the shirt and tie with the jean jacket. So good.
But I mean, this is Shay we're talking about. I mean, he is like 100%. Dripping with Riz. I mean, he can wear anything, and he does wear anything.
Riz drop.
The only word appropriate for Shay.
Yeah, right. What I like about the top half of this is you can literally replace it with any sort of pant underneath it.
Yeah, you're right.
And it'll look great. Even like a pair of dress trousers.
Yeah, that'd be great with dress trousers.
Yeah, right. And I think they're like patent boots too, which are dope. But and then you have George Harrison over on the side. It's a funky picture, but I think it's great. Like using the denim jacket to dress up your look, I think is always key.
Yeah, and I think these guys may have been the first people to do that.
It's true. Wearing a jean jacket, with
a tie. I mean, he's a Beatle, so he's a supreme being.
Yeah, that's true.
So he looks amazing in that outfit.
Yeah. Do you have any? So if you were to like shop for a jean jacket, do you have any brands that you would go like right off the bat you would go and shop at?
I mean, Levi's obviously is number one. I love Wrangler too. I love all the classic ones.
It is tough though. Like when you go into some of those stores and buying one, it's like so tough and like it doesn't like fit yet. Right. Like, right.
Sometimes you have to like really make it mold your body.
Yeah. And that's where it's like, that's where you start shopping or trying to like shop at like a vintage place. Or
vintage is always the best. But I really like denim jackets that don't have stretch, because those do mold to your body better. Yeah. Like I would, like if you really want to do it, and if you really want to make a denim jacket your own, buy one that's all cotton that doesn't have stretch, because and just buy it a little tighter and wear it a lot, because then it will kind of stretch and mold to your body and it will keep that shape.
The denim has the same kind of life as like a leather jacket.
Yeah.
Right. Like same kind of thing where like if you buy it on the tighter side, it will mold to your body and like break in.
And same thing with jeans. I mean, like APC is another good one, because you can buy that stuff raw and wear it every single day. I have jeans like that from APC. You can do the same thing with a jacket. I mean, if you have the budget, Saint Laurent makes amazing denim jackets.
And that's the thing too. Like if you're going to spend that much, you should wear it every day. And like it should last every day too. And like the more you wear that kind of stuff,
forever.
Yeah. And the more you wear it, the better it's going to be.
So I always recommend this for anything you buy. If you're a guy, buy something that you would spend a little more money on it and then keep it forever. So, you don't have to get the trendiest denim jacket you can find. Just get a really good one and spend a little more money on it, and buy one that's more evergreen that you can keep forever. Because it's only going to get better.
This kind of goes towards like the boots that you're wearing. And you literally wear those every single day. I mean, yeah. In the summer, I branched out this summer because it was so hot. I started wearing some like black Converse high tops. Okay. And I also broke down, because my podiatrist told me I had to. Got some Hokas. I mean, no offense to Hoka, your shoes are so comfortable. Ugly.
I'm so mad at them because they're so comfortable, you know, and they really do. I mean, they do really make you feel better.
Yeah.
Your knees, your back, you know, you get to a certain age, you need a little help.
Especially
You need a little shock absorption.
100%, but because you're wearing boots on a regular basis. So like when you switch them up to sneakers.
But these, I mean, Red Wings are made to like, you're supposed to be able to wear them all day in a factory on cement floors. And, you know, so they are really comfortable and I love them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I bought these boots brand new and now they look like this.
Working in country, did you ever try wearing cowboy boots at all?
It's not me. No, not really.
Okay. Yeah. I was always getting free ones from like Lucchese or Tecovas and stuff. And I was like,
then they're amazing.
Yeah.
I love a Lucchese boot. It's not for me, but
yeah.
I put them on Dirks. Dirks loves Lucchese.
Yeah. Do you have to like almost like fix that in the budget? Like not to get into like the financial aspect of things, but like with them, do you reach out to Lucchese or do you find a way to like buy the purchase of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on the brand. Like a lot of people give Dirks boots or they give them clothes.
Yeah,
no problem. Some brands, you know, they'll give you a discount or I'll always ask. I'll always try.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I feel like sometimes like when the budget comes through, it's always like, okay, with this one, we got to like try and get stuff for free. And
I mean, it just depends, but you know, Dirks is the type, if you know, he understands the importance of buying good quality things. So I can say to him like, this jacket's so expensive, but I swear it's worth it. Like, we're going to get so much value out of it and he'll do it for sure.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's great.
He trusts.
When you're in Nashville, when you start prepping in LA, do you prep everything in LA and then go to Nashville with it? Or do you also shop in Nashville?
For the most part, I shop in LA.
Okay.
But there are a couple places I love to hit in Nashville. My favorite is Savant Vintage. Have you been there?
I have been to Savant. Yeah. East Nashville, right?
Shout out to Beverly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is, I love.
Okay.
She's curated like the most amazing collection of stuff.
Yeah.
So I always find like one or two amazing things there.
Okay.
So I always like to be as prepared as possible in LA, bring it all there. And then if I find like one or two like bonus pieces, that's kind of how I approach it. Or I'll go to Lucchese in Nashville.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's I do the same thing. I'll take, like, I have the trunks over here. I'll take everything to Nashville with me. But like if I have a free afternoon or a free couple hours, I'll do like East Nashville and hit that spot.
Imogene and Willie.
Yeah.
I'll go to.
Yeah. A Black Shag. Some places are great, but like you do have to like, they don't have it like the same relationships we have with places here in LA where like we can just get anything we want on a consignment. So yeah, you have to be smart about like.
They're starting to get hip to it though.
Yeah.
For sure.
Do you think they're being more almost like guarded with their stuff rather than like letting the stylist just walk in and take some of the pieces, or? I don't
know. I mean, maybe because I'm working with Dirks, everyone seems pretty chill about loaning. Yeah. And also because I make sure to be very respectful with their merchandise. I don't keep it out forever.
Yeah.
I take good care of it. I bring it back. I keep things. I don't just pull a bunch of stuff and return it all.
Yeah. Smart.
So, I mean, you know, it's like anything else. You just have to cultivate those relationships and get them to trust you.
Yeah, true.
And if you can do that and you show them that you respect them, they will be more generous.
How did you meet Tommy from Moth Food Vintage?
Yeah, because Moth Food is one of the places I like. Whenever I have something with Dirks, the first place I go is Moth Food.
Yeah.
He's a vintage clothing dealer in LA, Tommy, and we've become really good friends. Yeah. I discovered him. My assistant at the time, Allison, who you know, she was just following him on Instagram. He has an amazing Instagram.
Yeah.
And she said, I think we should like maybe pull from this guy. And I said, okay, try and make an appointment. So she just messaged him and made an appointment. And I went into his place. I met him. And
how long ago was this?
Oh, this was, it was pre-COVID.
Oh, okay.
I know that.
Yeah. I was like, oh man, this sounds like it was recent or fairly recent, but yeah,
it's been at least 5 years.
Yeah.
More. I think it's more. It was when he was in his old location.
Okay. Because I've only known him at this current location.
Yeah, so I've known him for a while, and as soon as I went in, I was like, "Oh my god, this place is amazing!" Yeah. So that's my favorite place to pull in LA.
Do you have another? So literally, that's the only place I pull in LA in terms of vintage stuff, especially for country. I'm only going to go there. Do you have any other places?
I mean, it depends what it is. If I want vintage cowboy boots, I'll go to Boot Star.
Yeah. Okay.
If I need, if I need more, I mean, Tommy has like the most amazing vintage tee collection, but if I need something specific, like rock tees or whatever, there's World of Vintage T-shirts. Of course, they don't let you do studio.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I have my spots for sure for specific things, but I just like his collection is so perfectly curated.
Yeah, it's so good.
Pretty much everything I need is there.
And it's always so good because he does like seasonal stuff. So we'll make sure that Moth Food Vintage is on. We'll throw up a link on the socials and everything like that. So get people over there. And if you're in New York, we'll get the pop-up.
Yeah, he's doing a pop-up.
Yeah. No, but I think it's been great to kind of go from like Chris to Rob to Dirks, because I think they're all just 3 different people, and it shows how like versatile you are as a stylist. So I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Being here.
That's a big compliment.
Yeah. No, honestly, I've looked up to you forever. So and having you here is big time. So
I'm happy to support you. I've always adored you. I'm always here to support you.
This is my real estate investment, is this podcast. So hopefully it gets big, and
I can definitely give you real estate advice.
Yeah, thanks.
I'll give you the info to my loan person.
Perfect.
She's awesome.
And then outside of that, please, subscribe, do the whole thing. Manly Things Pod at all the Instagram, TikTok, and all that. And then, we're on Spotify and all the audio stuff. I'm not good at the whole promoting thing.
Yeah, you better start promoting yourself, dude.
I know. Well, that's where Sally comes into play. Speaking of Sally, I'm drinking Victory beer because my boy's in Philadelphia. So, he's having a good time out in Philly. Have you ever had Victory Brewing?
No.
Philadelphia-based brewery. Please do. That's a heavy guy. It's kind of on the warmer side, but it's good. It's
Yeah, it's really good.
That thing will put you on your back. Yeah, if you have a couple of those.
I like the, half of this will put me on my back.
Yeah.
I like the graphic.
Yeah, it's a good one. We miss you, Sally. We'll see you next week on the other one. But this has been Manly Things.